It's time for Mornings at 8 with Jonathan Mark on AM 1480 WLEA.
Well, yes, it is time for Mornings at 8, and here we are 5 minutes after 8 o'clock on a Tuesday morning. Tuesday, that's right, the best that can be said of Tuesday is, at least it's not Monday, so we needn't go through all that all over again. Okay, man, it's kind of warm out there. Wow, 2 o'clock this morning, it was 62 degrees at 2 o'clock in the morning. Whoa, just a little warmer. However, the weather will be getting just a little cooler again after a bit. So there you go. Let me see now. What's going on here? Well, this is Steuben County History Awareness Week. It runs through, let me see, the 5th, which will be on Saturday. And there are a lot of events going. Steuben County has a very interesting history, and a lot of it revolves around agriculture, right? That's right. Let me see. I have some stuff here. Steuben County, the second annual Steuben County History Awareness Week, 200 Years of Agriculture, Crops, Critters, and Farm Life in Steuben County. And hours at the Steuben County Fairgrounds, if you want to check it out, that's the Horticulture Building. It'll be open to the public from starting this afternoon, 2 until 6, and then Saturday, 10 until noon. And school groups by appointment. That would be kind of interesting. And if you'd like to make an appointment, a tour of that, and see what's going on, you can contact Steuben County historian Emily Sims at 607-664-2199. 664-2199 if you want to arrange a class tour of something of what's going on there. And also, let me see, there are going to be a couple of other events. Craig Brack is a great guy. I've interviewed Craig Brack a number of times, and he is one knowledgeable guy. He's a really good guy. He's the Allegheny County historian. Anyway, he will present the story of barns, silos, and outhouses. Doesn't that sound like fun? That'll be at the Bath Haverling High School Thursday at 6:30. And also Kirk House, a man I've also spoken to a number of times. He's the Steuben County Historical Society Director, and he'll give a lecture, let me see, that'll be at the Bath Haverling High School. That'll be on Friday at 6:30. And the entire event winds up, let me see, at the Howard Community Center. That'll be a Saturday starting at 1. And there'll be a demonstration of plowing with vintage plow and work horses. And there'll be a barn dance. That's kind of old-fashioned, isn't that neat? A barn dance and a harvest basket raffle. That'll be from 2 till 4 in the afternoon. Live music, refreshments, and all that. So, yes, Steuben County has a long, long history. And a lot of it has to do with agriculture. And, most people outside, I've said this in the past, but unless you live upstate New York, you probably wouldn't know that New York's number one industry is agriculture. It's very important here in New York, agriculture. That's right. Well, I have a couple of stories here dealing with politicians, New York politicians, past and present. Brian had the story yesterday morning at 7:30 or 8:30. Oops, that's right, 8:30 yesterday morning. Former State Senator Kathy Young has filed a lawsuit against the State Senate Republican Campaign Committee, alleging that it refused to repay $100,000 to Young's campaign because she ran against the Senate Minority Leader last year, and that, of course, is John Flanagan. So what that means is Senator Young, or former Senator Young, promised funds to the Alfred Station Fire Department. However, that really didn't come through. So that $75,000 grant to a volunteer fire department to assist in the purchase of a new tanker didn't happen. So the fire department had to get a loan. Now they're paying $2,000 a month for the loan. So Senator Young has sued, and we'll see how that works out. She got a very, very, very raw deal. She really did. And who else have we here? Well, you've probably heard this morning, I'm sure, that upstate Republican Congressman Chris Collins resigned from Congress on Monday. And that was a day before he was expected to plead guilty in Manhattan federal court to insider trading charges. Let me see. He also resigned. He also sent a letter of resignation to New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, which he stated he's immediately stepping down. And this afternoon at, let me see, 3 o'clock, former Congressman Collins will be enter a change of plea at 3 o'clock. So that's the end of a year-long saga. Now, Congressman Collins served as a member of the board of directors of an Australian biotech company. And he received a tip that the company failed a key drug trial. So he found out about it and allegedly told his son. So he, his son, and there was another co-defendant, sold their shares before the company went under. And that is called insider trading. So you can't do that. That's very much against the law. So he will appear in court this afternoon at 3 o'clock, and which means that there's going to be a vacancy. Now, Chris Collins represented the area roughly between Buffalo and Rochester, and that's a fairly large area. So we'll see what happens there. Also, here's a name you haven't heard in a long time, Al D'Amato. Remember him? That's right, a U.S. Senator, a Republican. He was, he was in office from, 1981 until 1999, at which point he lost the election to, who? Chuck Schumer. So Uncle Al says that he would support former New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg in a 2020 Democratic presidential campaign. So he said, let me see, I have a quote here. If Bloomberg, and this is from The Hill, if Bloomberg were to get into this race, I think he would win the Democratic nomination, and he would be a very, very difficult person to beat. And when you look at the opponents who are out there now, said D'Amato, none of them hold a candle to Mike Bloomberg. However, maybe nobody told them that Mike Bloomberg announced in March that he's not running. So I don't know about that. But anyway, so he said he would support Bloomberg, except, of course, Bloomberg isn't running. Okay, let me see. What else have we here? This is really tragic. It really is. We had a story yesterday. This occurred, I think, early Sunday morning in the Bronx, where a New York City cop was shot and killed during a confrontation with a 27-year-old man. And it turns out that officer, what was his name? 33-year-old Brian Mulkeen was hit by friendly gunfire. The man that they were trying to arrest didn't shoot him. He was hit by friendly gunfire. Who's this? Police Commissioner James O'Neill said this is a tragic case of friendly gunfire. Investigators previously thought that Williams wrestled away Mulkeen's gun. The subject's name was Antonio Williams. They thought that he wrestled away Mulkeen's gun while the pair were wrestling on the ground. It turns out that's not what happened. So Mulkeen and two plainclothes officers were on patrol near a city housing complex around 12:30 in the morning, early on Sunday. And they were investigating gang activity. Now, during the questioning of Williams, he's a suspect, he allegedly fled behind a building. Mulkeen, a former college track star, tackled Williams, who went after the officer's weapon during the struggle, according to the NYPD. So he's trying to get Mulkeen's gun from him, but Mulkeen didn't let him. Okay, he was struggling with him. So in fact, Mulkeen fired 5 rounds at the suspect. And investigators determined several officers there fired 10 shots at the suspect. Mulkeen, he was wearing a bulletproof vest, was hit in the head and torso. So the commissioner says it was a violent struggle, and the whole thing took about 10 seconds. So you got to think about how fast 10 seconds is. 10 shots fired here, another shot fired there, a struggle on the ground, and the whole thing. And That's what happened there. And it was, in fact, the second of an NYPD officer dying from friendly fire this year. Queens detective Brian Simonson died in February after he was struck in the chest as he and 6 officers fired 42 shots at a robbery suspect who mimicked pulling the trigger of a fake handgun. So this robbery suspect is pretending that he's firing the trigger of a fake handgun. And this New York City PD officer dies. Boy, what a zoo down there. What an absolute zoo. That is pretty bad. Okay, let me see. Saturday Night Live. You know, Saturday Night Live about, 40 years ago or something, used to be a pretty funny show. About 40 years ago. And that was probably the last time it was really funny, okay? Then it got a little too snarky, I guess, or something. More than snarky. I mean, it's just ugly stuff. Now, I haven't watched it in probably over 20 years. But the last time I saw it, it was really offensive, I thought. And now it's gotten so over the top, it's not even funny. Their audience has dropped off. Nobody watches it anymore, and nobody cares, and that's good. But probably, here's one of the reasons. Saturday Night Live. Now, where did I get this? This was from Syracuse.com. Saturday Night Live takes aim at apple picking upstate. Quote, the part of New York State that has Confederate flags. This is Saturday Night Live. So here we are in apple picking season, right? And Saturday Night Live decides to insult upstate New York and mock it. Very good. That's right. Okay. Since we know how well upstate loves being mocked by downstate, we're sure most of the people will take the jokes in the spirit they were intended. I don't think so. So in this skit, these 2 actresses who I've never heard of, or something, I have no idea, I've never heard of them, they star in a skit as sisters running Chickham's Farms. Okay? And among the jokes in the 4-minute skit that aired on Saturday night were shots at the presence of Confederate flags in upstate. You really don't see a whole bunch of them. You see a couple here and there, but not really a lot. Anyway, so they mock a petting zoo, cider donuts, and the haunted hayride. So that's upstate New York. We have cider donuts. We have petting zoos. We have hayrides. What in the world is wrong with that? But Saturday Night Live thinks it's really funny to mock upstate New York, and so there you go. That's Saturday Night Live. Very, very good. That's really, really hilariously funny, I'm sure. Anyway, there you go. But wait, there's more. Oh, there's more. I got this on Breitbart. Another set. I never thought I'd have a story about Saturday Night Live. I mean, I really don't care about them anymore. As I said, it's been years, but this is kind of interesting. This is more than interesting. This is really bad. Saturday Night Live, they have a weekend update. Impeachment process was too slow for John Wilkes Booth. That was the gist of this little bit. Impeachment process was too slow for John Wilkes Booth. And if you know your history, what did John Wilkes Booth do? That's right. So they aired a joke about presidential assassinations on Saturday. That's hilarious. I mean, that's absolutely hilarious. A joke about presidential assassinations on Saturday when Weekend Update anchor, somebody or other, Michael Chi or something, noted that the impeachment process was too slow for John Wilkes Booth. During the segment, Chi joked about how long the impeachment process takes, saying that President Donald Trump's term, quote, is only a 4-year job, but it feels like it's taking them 5 years to fire his, I'm going to say the word butt. Okay, this is on Saturday Night Live. He did not say butt, okay? It takes them 5 years to fire his butt. He then invoked John Wilkes Booth, the actor who shot and killed President Lincoln, right, in 1865. And then he said, I bet somebody explained how long impeachment takes to John Wilkes Booth. And he was like, okay, well, where is he at right now? That's hilarious. And then you wonder why their audience has dwindled to like zero. Anybody who watches Saturday Night Live now, I don't know about. Anyway, it was on the season's opener, which included actor Alec Baldwin reprising his impersonation of Trump. So they're losing viewers really, really fast. And I can see that. Anyway, so you're joking about assassinations. That, I think, is hilarious. That's real good comic humor. That is really, really good stuff. And that's what's going on Saturday Night Live. You gotta love the media. Okay, I have another story here. And this was from Fox News. Voters are now evenly split over impeachment removal from office, poll says. Let me see. 2020 Democrats concerned impeachment inquiry could overshadow presidential campaign. A new poll, a Quinnipiac poll, I think, yes, indicates American voters are evenly split, 47 to 47, on whether President Trump should be impeached and removed from office over the Ukraine controversy. Yet another controversy, one after another after another. Let me see. The poll was released Monday, and it erased a 20-point gap against impeaching the president in the previous poll, seen just a week ago. In the earlier survey, voters opposed impeachment 57 to 37, so 57 were against it and 37 were for. Now it's split even 47 to 47. Following a week when House Democrats announced a formal impeachment inquiry into President Trump and more information emerged about the president's actions regarding Ukraine, public opinion about impeachment is now showing a shift, the university polling analyst Mary Snow said. The percentage of voters who think the president should be impeached and removed from office climbed. Well, we'll just see how that goes. We will see. One thing didn't work, and then something else didn't work, and then the next thing didn't work, and something else didn't work, and we'll see where they go from here. That should be very interesting. Okay, insurance. Everybody needs insurance. You can't get by without insurance. Even renters need insurance, and there is something called renter's insurance. That's right. And you can find out all about insurance at the Ryan Agency. They are local. They are in Hornell. They have an office in Jasper, and they have an office in Wellsville. And they are insurance experts. You cannot go wrong. Matter of fact, my wife and I have all our insurances, and you need a bunch at the Ryan Agencies. Let me see. They're independent. They don't work for any one company. They have all these companies at their disposal. So they figure out what your needs are. Let me see. Well, how about this company? No way. This one's better. This would be the best company for you based on your needs. And that's what they do. They shop for insurance for you. They are your personal insurance shopper. They're experts. They offer sound, unbiased advice. They're friendly. They're local. And they are the Ryan Agencies.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Eddie Garcia.
In the NFL on Monday Night Football, the Steelers had no trouble beating the Bengals 27-3. Pittsburgh's defense sacked Cincinnati quarterback Andy Dalton 8 times and forced him into an interception and a fumble. Pittsburgh quarterback Mason Rudolph was 24 of 28 passing for 229 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Pittsburgh improves to 1-3 with the win. Cincinnati now 0-4. With the loss. News from the NFL, where Raiders linebacker Vontaze Burfict has been suspended for the rest of the season for repeated violations of the league's unnecessary roughness rules. He will reportedly appeal the suspension. Broncos linebacker Bradley Chubb is a partially torn ACL in his left knee. He will miss the rest of the season. Bears quarterback Mitchell Trubisky reportedly has a dislocation of his left shoulder and a slight labrum tear. It's not expected to require surgery, but it's unlikely he'll play Sunday against the Raiders. Bills quarterback Josh Allen is in the league's concussion protocol. His status for Sunday's game is unknown. It's possible Matt Barkley could start against Tennessee. In baseball, the Angels fire Brad Ausmus as their manager after just one season.
I'm Liz Clayman, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Leaders of the Southwest Airlines pilot union believe it could be February or March before the Boeing 737 MAX planes are flying again for the airline. The leaders say pilot training and updating checklists for pilots will delay the jets from returning to service. Boeing has said it's working to get the planes flying again before the end of the year. Britain is returning another 7,000 Thomas Cook customers on 39 flights today. They were stranded after the travel company collapsed in September. So far, 115,000 of 150,000 Thomas Cook travelers have returned home. Stocks closed higher on Monday, ending the month and the quarter. The Dow was up 96, the Nasdaq added 59, and the S&P was up 14. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Prescription products require an online physician consultation and are only available if the physician determines a prescription is appropriate. Subscription required. See website for full details and important safety information.
Hey guys, good news. The outrageously expensive little blue pill is now generic, which means you can get the prescription medication to treat ED at affordable prices. And Hims makes it extra affordable. And right now, get your first online visit totally free when you go to forhims.com/joy. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, forhims.com/joy. forhims.com/joy.
Today at Simmons Rockwell Nissan in Horseheads and Hornell, New York, you'll find brand new 2019 Nissan Sentra SV models equipped with 16-inch alloy wheels, rear monitor, push-button ignition, and cruise control for just $15,999. Shop Simmons Rockwell Nissan in Horseheads or Hornell. Simmons-Rockwell.com.
Okay, and here we are. Yesterday I had two stories about the vegans. One was about, I should have brought the stories with me, but I didn't. One was about a 20-year-old girl in England who quite inadvertently was served a pork roll or something. And she said that her life was ruined. She's totally traumatized. She can't sleep at night anymore. And it's not even worth it like going on, okay? So she's a strict vegan or something, and so she's... Her life is at an end. It's all done. And then, let me see, I had a professor in England who said, well, I thought this was really weird, veganism is more valid than any religion. I'm not quite sure how that works, but that's this guy's opinion. Okay, fine. Now we have another vegan story. 3 in 2 days, huh? Let me... A fed-up patron at a British pizza joint punched a vegan activist in the face after animal rights demonstrators stormed into the eatery with the whole thing caught on video. Footage of the Sunday night confrontation at Pizza Express in the city of Brighton in England shows more than half a dozen activists marching in single file, holding signs and shouting slogans as they blocked the counter of this pizza joint. The unidentified attacker confronts the group, and he angrily tells them to leave and points to the door. Okay, and that's according to the video. When they don't comply, he punches one woman in the face. Okay, that's not very good. So he punched her in the face, and then he looks at the camera, and employees are trying to calm this guy down. But undeterred, the activists continue to shout slogans. And among them, animals want to live, animals feel pain, and it's not food, it's violence, before finally leaving in single file. So the thing is all over social media, and I'm trying to figure out how pizza is not food and how pizza is violent. I mean, how would pizza be violent? And anyway, it's pizza. Animals want to live, animals feel pain. You can have a vegetarian pizza, I think. You know, although personally I would rather pepperoni, Italian sausage, maybe some anchovies, who knows. But anyway, so it's not food, it's violence. Say these animal rights activists or something. I don't get it. So why were they protesting at this pizza joint? I have no idea, but that's how it goes. Okay. And some days are just not your day. How about you fall into a hot spring? And I mean really hot spring. This was in Yellowstone National Park on Sunday near the Old Faithful Geyser. So this guy was out there in the dark with no flashlight, 48 years old, and he fell into this hot spring. And I mean hot spring. This thing is like 199 degrees. Now at that elevation, that's the point for water to boil. So this guy falls into a boiling hot spring. And that's not the first time this happened at Yellowstone. Happened again in 2016. It happened in 2017. And the guy who fell in 2016, recovery efforts were called off after rangers determined there were no remains left in the hot spring. That sounds pretty bad, you know? So anyway, if you're walking by a hot spring, be sure you know where you're walking because you might, who knows. Okay, that's it for this morning show, and I will see you tomorrow at 8:05. Bye.